Evolve ensure grittiness.
It starts with an attitude. We need swagger, okay? Regardless of what happens out there. Doesn't matter. Keep your swagger.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 5-Hole Fantasy Hockey Podcast. We're your hosts today, TJ, Zach, and Raj.
Hey there.
Hey.
We got your Week 3 preview. I was saying it before the show, like, everybody needs to calm down. And I'm putting this at the beginning of the show because I'm looking at the fantasy hockey subreddit, and people are, like, crowning Eric Comrie as the Vezina finalist. And then, you know, the next post below it is like, I'm fucking dropping JT Miller. I don't give a shit. Like, people are ready to jump on to the next hot thing, and I just want to say you need to just have some patience. We're 5, maybe 6 games in. You drafted people in the first, the second round, the third round who haven't done what they're supposed to do yet, and you've drafted people late that are overperforming. Okay, so everything's kind of like washing out. You're picking up Gabriel Velarde's off the waiver wire, right? You're picking up Jake DeBrusk's. They're doing it for you, but maybe Huberdeau isn't. Maybe Timo Meier's not. It will get better. Don't drop these guys.
Timo Meier's definitely not doing it for you right now.
He might be dead. I think somebody needs to plug his controller in. All right, let's get into things. We're 5-Hole Fantasy Hockey. You guys can find us on Twitter at FHF Hockey. You can jump in the Fantasy Hockey Discord. Let's jump right into injuries. There were some big ones. One happened tonight that is very worrisome. First injury on the board.
Yeah. Josh Norris, he left the game. Like, you could tell that he was definitely in some discomfort after falling down in the face-off circle. He looked to, like, fall a little weird on his left shoulder, which he has dislocated before. And I'll tell you this, I've dislocated my right shoulder probably about 6 or 7 times. And, like, the more times you dislocate it, the easier it is to dislocate it again. So,
yeah,
it can definitely be a problem.
Yeah, there's this guy, Dr. Hargis Grewal, on Twitter, who's kind of like spearheading this. Everybody should go follow this guy, Hargis_Grewal on Twitter. But he's pretty much just a hockey doctor who tweets about this kind of stuff. He said, you know, if Norris needs surgery, it could be 5+ months if he's lucky. And then on the other hand, like, it could just be rehab, and then he could be week to week. But the team's just waiting to find out more. They said they have to. They said, this doesn't sound good. They said they had to wait for the swelling to go down to, like, really evaluate it. So there's no good news here at all.
We definitely hope that Josh Norris is okay, because I'm a big fan of Josh Norris.
Well, it's time to talk about Shane Pinto, who took over. He's got goals in 4.
He had a fucking game tonight.
Yes, he did. He's got 5 points in his last 4, goals in 4 straight. So one more goal, and he'll be right up there with Rasmus Dahlin, Raj's favorite defenseman. So it's very close. He just needs one more goal, and he'll almost be as good as Rasmus Dahlin. Probably the best defenseman.
Who's very good.
Easily top 20. Easily top 20.
He is easily top 20. That's the thing. Yes.
In the first 5 games.
He's been fantastic in the first 5 games.
He's going to keep scoring goals until you apologize.
He's not going to. I'm not going to, and he's not going to.
82 goal pace. You heard it here first.
Oh,
you're welcome.
God. Okay. Sorry.
Pinto's 5% rostered. Ottawa plays on Monday, which is an off night, so check him out. He's a center only. You know, give him a look for Monday.
And they scored, 6 goals, I think it was today? So, I mean...
Yeah. Thomas Chabot is allergic to points. I don't know what's going on.
Other players in that top 6 certainly aren't.
If you're in the categories like Tyler Mott...
He bangs.
Incredible.
All right.
Okay.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Shall we?
Moving on.
Incredible.
Sorry, we got a little left-handed there. All right. Brad Marchand, he has been skating, taking power play reps, getting closer and closer. So kind of, keep an eye on that. This would be pretty crazy because he was slated to be out for a lot longer. You know what I mean? So That's actually some good news if you have Brad Marchand. If you're just every other person, that's bad news because it's Brad Marchand. So, fuck him. Nikolaj Ehlers is on IR retroactive to October 18th. Should only be about 10-ish days that he's actually out. Mason Appleton, 0% right wing. He's taken Ehlers' spot on that top line the last 2 games played. So he's got a pair of assists in that time, 5 hits, 4 shots on goal, and over 18 minutes in each game during that span. So, I mean, Mason Appleton definitely is someone to look at in this in the stead of Nikolaj Ehlers, who is definitely going to be out for at least another week. Oh my God! Do you hear that? That's a bird trying to fly into my house. It is freaking out right now on the outside of my window. It's a cardinal.
That's awesome.
Oh my God!
Let him in.
No,
let him in.
Why is he like freaking out like that? I wonder if there's something else in that fucking tree. That's weird. I'm sorry. That was odd. It's like banging against the window. That's like some Halloween sort of shit. Okay, some good news here. Jake Sanderson, he did have 15 stitches after taking a stick to the fucking face against the Capitals. He underwent an X-ray yesterday.
What did he do? He under what?
X-ray.
He underwent an X-ray. I'm sorry. I've been drinking a little bit.
This is going to be a great show, guys.
Just helped out.
Just buckle up.
I'm sorry. Fuck you guys. So he underwent a fucking X-ray yesterday. Didn't have any extra damage. He actually got an assist today. That's how I knew that he played, because he got an assist in that 6 goal game that they had today. Nice. Hey, screw you guys. All right. Next up, Jake Guentzel, upper body injury, did not play. He is traveling with the team, though, on this week-long road trip that they have out west. So you have to imagine he's going to be back sometime in that span. They do have 2 back-to-backs that week.
Yep, them and the Rangers.
And they start out Monday, Tuesday with the Oilers and Flames. So, I don't know if he'll be back right away, but he's definitely going to be back sometime next week. Hopefully it's early.
How did Danton Heinen do? Raj, you said he got a couple points. Were they goals?
A couple goals, yeah.
Jesus. Fuck that guy.
Fucker.
Anyway. Fucker.
All right. Devon Toews, he is out undisclosed. Did not practice Friday, but Bowen Byram took his top spot.
It's Devon Toews, not Devon Toews.
You're saying it wrong. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Nice. All right, cool. But it is Devon Toews. Let's fucking wrap this up. There's a lot of people hurt. Let's just fucking do it. Jesus.
Noah Hanifin practiced yesterday and has been down to dance with an undisclosed.
He's playing. He's playing.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's right. He did play.
He's fine.
I'm sorry.
Play.
Noah Hanifin.
Next.
He played today. Jordan Greenway returned, then promptly got hurt again.
Okay.
Pavel,
he's on IR. Next.
Buchnevich did not play.
Out. Next.
Iafallo. He was placed on long-term IR.
Good.
With Alex
Next.
Edler.
Good.
Next.
Jake Muzzin, he left the game against the Leafs. No, he left the game against the Coyotes earlier in the week after colliding with Clayton Keller. He's on IR too.
Next.
Connor Brown sucks. He's on IR. He's been disappointing me all year. No, fuck it. I'm trying to talk about Connor Brown, how I don't like him right now. Peter Mrazek, screw him. Don't like Peter Mrazek anyway. He has a groin strain. He left mid-game. Stalock came in for relief. Brandon Montour, he returned.
He just relieved that groin. Next.
Philip Grubauer, he's day-to-day, undisclosed. That's all of them. I'm sorry. Dude, there's a lot of fucking injuries. There's like a page of fucking injuries.
I know. It was 15 minutes of injuries. All right. Storylines. Raj, you got the Canucks up here. Man, they're bad, huh? Yeah.
They suck. They suck, man.
Well, as a team, we're about to lose again.
JT Miller looks like somebody unplugged his controller. What's going on up there?
He sucks. And that's it, really. Other than that, everybody else is doing better than they were last year.
Do you think they're like, are they quiet quitting? Do they hate Bruce Boudreau?
No, not at all. Not at all. They need defense, same as last year. Like, Pettersson has double the points that he did at this point last year. Quinn Hughes is a point per game. Besser's...
Oh, there's another one. He didn't play tonight. Quinn Hughes.
I know. He's hurt. So that doesn't help. But no, I had something to talk about a little later, but like the difference between real life hockey and fantasy hockey, right? Like all those players are doing better than they were last year. They're all point per game or better. The team hasn't won yet. So other than Thatcher Demko, most of the Canucks are doing great for fantasy, actually, except JT Miller and Thatcher Demko.
I don't know what to do. You got to hold. You either got to buy low or you got to hold.
You got to hold for sure. I mean, at this point, it literally can't get worse than 0 wins in terms of owning.
It's just crazy because I thought we were going to be talking about Philly having 0 wins, 5 games in, like just being 0-5. Like that's what I expected.
We're in a bizarro world. That's what's happening.
I know.
Oh my God.
Right now. How?
I don't know. And that's what I was getting like at. You know, we have the Discord, right? And there's like 2,000 people in there, and people are fucking, oh my God, Carter Hart, is he for real? Eric Comrie, is he for real? Fuck Marc-Andre Fleury, fuck Thatcher Demko, like fuck these top 10 goalies who, 82 games from now are probably going to wind up inside the top 10, top 15, whatever it may be. But like Buffalo, Philadelphia, like we're fucking,
if
we're building pedestals to their goaltenders right now.
That's
do
a
it.
trade I'll take.
Oh yeah. Like if there's a taco in your league, that'll go for that. Absolutely. Other storylines, Matt Grzelcyk's back, did not take top power play. They're easing him back in. Hampus Lindholm had another goal tonight. So, things are just status quo for what they are. Raj, you brought this one up before we went on the show. Pittsburgh has scored 6 goals in 4 out of their 5 games this season. The only game that they didn't score 6 goals in was against Montreal, which is weird enough. Every other game, 6 goals.
Yeah, I mean, they're the highest goals per game of anyone in the league right now by quite a bit.
Nuts. Calgary, they were playing Buffalo the other night. They were throwing their line combinations through a fucking loop. They had, I think they had Lindholm on the second line. Kadri came up to the top. Everything went back to normal. So the line combos didn't change much. Dahlin now has 5 goals in 5 games played, which we talked about a little bit. And Comrie, back-to-back 40 save wins, 40-plus save wins. So maybe he's the first 0G darling of the year. I'm sure Carter Hart, who, ironically enough, Nate, if you wind up listening to the show or, JB or any of the guys from Apples and Ginos, Carter Hart was kind of the reason 0G came into fruition. Is because everybody, he had that great year. And then the next year, he just disappointed fucking everybody. And I swear he was like a top 5 goalie by way of ADP and just shit the bed, fucking diarrhea nap. And now he's like his 0G darling. So I think there's just a little bit of, there's a little bit of poetry there. How do you guys like Nicky Bobby?
I'm Ricky Bobby. If you don't chew Big Red, then you.
I think he comes up as a streamer option, doesn't he? Or somewhere down the road.
Of course it's me that likes Nicky Bobby. Number one, it's the most fantastic nickname, love for it. Sure.
Nah.
Nicky Bobby, I love it. He had 2 goals in his first game. He didn't do anything today, but he did have 2 shots on goal.
Second best.
If you ain't first, you're last.
He's the second best Robertson, and he's got the second best nickname.
What's the first best nickname?
Wi-Fi.
I agree with you on the Robertson thing, 100%.
Wi-Fi. That's my new favorite.
Yeah, Wi-Fi is a good one. Arbor Zekaj, because his last name looks like a Wi-Fi password. I like that one. That's a good one. All right, you guys ready to check your gag reflex real quick? But Sean Monahan might be interesting, guys. Just want to throw that one out there. Yeah, he was kind of yucky in Calgary. He's not in Montreal right now.
I've wanted Sean Monahan to be good for so long, and it just never kind of came to fruition. He had that fantastic fucking season way back where he was over a point per game, and then...
Yeah, that was the year Gio won the Norris, yeah.
and then just dropped off and I don't know. He has disappointed me before. I know that he can be good in the right situation. It's just been so many years since he has been. That's the thing.
He's in a good spot. Like I think I have him later on in the itinerary here, but he's top line, top power play, getting good time on ice. He's got points in 3 straight, 3 points in 3 games, 4 points on the year with 6 games under his belt. So I don't know. He's like a really deep league ad at this point. Marc-Andre Fleury still sucks, even though he got a win. Eked out a 900 plus save percentage, so that's good. Let's talk about some of the guys that stood out to you last week. Raj, you're up first here.
Yeah, I mean, mine's not a lowly owned or anything. Jeff Petrie, I was really happy with last week. He's 72% owned, so he's not somebody you're very likely to find on the waiver wire or anything. But
Raj will. Raj picked him up twice yesterday.
I already got him. 3 games, he had 3 points, 8 shots on goal, 11 hits, 7 blocks. Which was 23rd overall in fantasy last week, and he's ADP of 150. So it's a pretty good return on your money so far, anyways. Far outperforming Letang actually in most games.
By way of bangers, it's got to be, and that's actually surprising. We were just talking about how many goals they're fucking scoring, and Letang he's got to start getting in. Like, I don't know, you can't be second fiddle to Jeff Petrie in fantasy.
Yeah, it's a bad look for Chris Letang. But Petrie is looking good.
All right, Zach, who you got?
I got Anders Lee, 29% owned left winger. So he had a pretty good week. We talked about him earlier in the week about, someone that we did like from the Islanders, and he legit had a damn good week. So I'm pretty happy about that. On Tuesday, he had 6 shots on goal, a block, and 2 PIMs. He got a bunch of PIMs this week. Like, if that's something that you have as a category, he actually did get I think he got 6 or he got 6 PIMs this week, I think. But the game before that, he had a bunch. He had another shot on goal, but got a goal in that 1 shot on goal on Thursday. 4 more PIMs. And by the way, his last game of last week, he had 3 assists in. So he has a bunch of points, in a small little span. That's what you're looking to pick up. And 29%, yeah, I'll take it.
My guy is Jake DeBrusk, who yesterday was 31% rostered yesterday. He's 41% today, and it's for good reason. It's just about last call for JDB here. 4 shots today, 1 hit, 18:30 time on ice today. 5 shots in his last game against Florida, where he had 2 goals and an assist. Against Ottawa on Tuesday, he had 4 shots on goal, 2 assists, and he stood out to me on Thursday, where he put up fucking 9 shots. The game did go to OT, so his time on ice, 21-13. Really stuck out like a sore thumb. But 9 shots, man. If it's one thing that stands out to me, it's shots. And DeBrusk had him. I like him here. And my standout, I just wanted to rant about Timo Meier a little bit more. The Sharks are just not playing well. As a whole, they're shooting 6%. The power play is half as good as it was last year. They're dead last in goals for per game. But there's still 12 teams below San Jose in terms of expected goals for. So if you're talking, what might happen with the Sharks, things are bound to get better, man. Meier's on ice shooting percentage is under 3%, which is I don't know, a quarter of what it usually is. So I don't know. I'm holding out hope for Timo Meier. Things are going to change. His shooting percentage is 0%, as any Timo Meier owner is well aware of. But, I just wanted to reiterate, do not worry about Timo Meier just yet. You got to hold. Just hold. Diamond hands here, guys. Tips of the week. When you're looking at the week, top to bottom, what stood out to you, Raj, in terms of how to thrive this week?
Well, it's something that came up a few minutes ago already, but just mind the difference between real life hockey and fantasy hockey.
It's hard to do.
It is, and the example I'm going to use for the second time in this episode, and to nobody's surprise, is the Canucks, but, they've had the terrible, brutal start, but like I said, in terms of fantasy, Pettersson, Hughes, Besser, all the big boys are doing better than they were last year by quite a bit. They're all point per game area. So you really got to separate the difference between, how good the team's doing and how good the players are doing in terms of fantasy. Like JT Miller stinks, Demko stinks, but everybody else is having a great fantasy season. So, you can use that to your advantage in terms of like buy low, because a lot of people are fooled about how well individual or players are doing. Connor Garland scored tonight. Nice, but still losing. So probably going to lose again.
How's JT doing?
He's not doing anything.
Got 2 shots, 3 hits. All right. So if you're in a really deep league, JT Miller is probably useful to you.
He's probably worth picking up.
Yeah, it's got to be like a 20-team league, though. That sucks. He'll get there. And this is a perfect time to talk about Tuesday trends. Coming up, we're going to have a legit Tuesday trends this week. So if you got guys you're worried about, like JT Miller, like Timo Meier, drop them in the Discord channel, and we'll bring them up.
Curtis Lazar, if he's pissing you off.
He's winning faceoffs. That's what he's supposed to do.
It's true.
All right, so my tip of the week, I'll go next. So there's 4 teams that have back-to-backs on Monday, Tuesday this week: Dallas, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, and Vegas. I'm starting my week off with one of those back-to-backs, and then I'm finishing the week with the Anaheim Ducks. So you have a pickup for a back-to-back on Monday and Tuesday, and then you take advantage of all those off nights that the Ducks have at the end of the week there. I like the whole second line, to be honest with you. I like the whole second line for these off days, and that is Ryan Strome, Mason McTavish, and Frank Vetrano. I think they are all pick-upable. Facts.
Let's get over to my tip, and it's not so much for the week, and it's just more of a all-encompassing kind of tip. Right now, like if you go look at the
embrace socialism,
if you go look at the r/fantasy hockey, or like you look in the Discord, or you see pretty much anybody talking about fantasy hockey anywhere, capitalize on panic. This is the perfect time to buy low, to sell high, to get wheeling. Folks are freaking out about Brent Burns, Moritz Seider, Thatcher Demko, Jonathan Huberdeau, Timo Meier, Kyle Connor. Like people are freaking out because their second round picks aren't putting up like 10 points already, like Artemi Panarin. Not everybody can just go from 0 to 60 in 3 games. Some people need to warm up a little bit. Some people, like Timo Meier, are playing on the Sharks that just stink. Roman Josi, 1 assist, buy low. Mo Seider, 0 points, buy low. Demko, Marc-Andre Fleury, awful so far. You know who had to deal with those awful performances? Not you. Buy them. JT Miller, Austin Matthews. And Matthews had a fucking great game tonight, so I don't know if he applies anymore. But they're all assists. Anyway, like JT Miller, go buy him. You're not the guy that had to deal with all those fucking shit games, but you'll be the guy that, finishes the year with JT Miller. Kyle Connor, Philip Forsberg. Like people are freaking out, and people are even like talking about 2 days ago, our last episode, people were like, I'm going to drop Taylor Hall. He had a 3.9 tonight. People are back to normal on Taylor Hall. Things like this happen, and things like this are going to happen for all of these high, draft capital guys that you went out for. Jonathan Huberdeau, Timo Meier, Brent Burns, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Buy low with your sell high targets. We're talking about, Mason Marchment. Fuck, Dominik Kubalik. I'm not saying go 1-for-1 like Dominik Kubalik for Jonathan Huberdeau, but fucking pepper those guys into the trade to make it, the fantasy points per game, or the X rank or the rank or whatever. It just looks a little bit better. All right, let's get into the schedule breakdown, the waiver wire portion of the episode here. Pretty typical week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Those are your off nights. Monday's got 6 games. Tuesday 10, Wednesday 3, Thursday 10, Friday 6, Saturday 12, Sunday 5. So Saturday's not even as heavy as I think there's 14 games tonight. Crazy. Sed is fucking catching up. He might even actually be winning. So fuck that guy. Yeah, he's winning by 0.4 points. Fuck that guy. This is the first time I've been down all year. Doesn't feel good. All right, games played leaders, 4 games. There's 11 teams with 4 games. Vegas, New Jersey, Winnipeg all have 3 off nights and 4 games. St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Toronto, New York, Rangers, Edmonton have 2 off nights with 4 games. Dallas, Chicago, Minnesota have 1 off night, 4 games. 3 games, like pretty much the rest of the fucking teams. But there's 3 off nights for Anaheim, like Zach was saying in his tip of the week. 3 off nights, 3 games. They don't play Monday, and then Wednesday, Friday, Sunday off nights. 2 off nights, 3 games. Carolina, New York Islanders, Columbus, Arizona, Vancouver. The worst teams this week: Philadelphia, Calgary, Nashville. So the teams we're looking at are Vegas, New Jersey, Winnipeg, and Anaheim. In terms of opponents, I'm the biggest fan of Vegas. They got Toronto, San Jose, Anaheim, and Winnipeg versus New Jersey, who's got Washington, Detroit, Colorado, and Columbus. Winnipeg's got St. Louis, the Kings, Arizona, Vegas. That Arizona game's pretty cool, but I don't know. And Anaheim's actually got it pretty rough with Tampa, Vegas, and Toronto, but you're going to be able to get those guys in.
But they're playing. That's what matters.
That's what matters. Can't catch a fish without a rod in the water. So let's talk long-term hold/drop options. Is there anybody that stood out to you, Raj, as maybe was a streamer at one point, but is now too good to be dropping?
Well, I'd have to say the most obvious one is Konechny that we talked about all of the first couple of weeks of the season hasn't let up yet.
You know who's kicking tits on Philly too is Kevin Hayes, man. Zach, you're the biggest fan of Hollywood Hayes here, but he's kicking tits.
Shit, huh?
Konechny's kicking tits. Farabee had a 3-point night tonight.
Sorry to disappoint you, Raj.
What did Konechny have anything going on tonight?
No, not really.
No. JVR had a nice little streak. I don't know if he hit the score sheet tonight, but we were doing trunk or treat with the kids tonight, so I didn't get to watch the game. I was busy.
Freaking trunk or treat.
Trunk or treat. Yeah.
Love it.
Do you have anybody that you would drop? Like anybody that's been a hold that you are considering dropping at all?
Well, I don't know if it was anyone I would be overly shocked about making the decision, but Andrew Kopp. I had him. He was sort of a last round sort of draft pick or waiver wire, but drop.
Let me throw one at you. Andrei Kuzmenko.
Drop him.
Done?
Yeah, he wasn't even on my mind.
There we go.
Because it was, I was already done with that.
And he will be relevant again. It's not like you're never going to hear Andrei Kuzmenko's name said again.
He's not going to be relevant again.
I dig it. I'm there for you. Zach, who do you like? Who's your hold? Who's your drop?
My hold is Dominik Kubalik. I do know that he plays on heavy days, and I get that, but I like that top line. With Bertuzzi still out, I want that deployment. And that top line is producing. They just are. And Dominik Kubalik is getting on those points. My drop is Ryan fucking Johansen. He only plays twice next week, and both of those are on heavy days. If on those heavy days, Ryan Johansen is actually in your lineup, then that's surprising to me. But hey, I'm just saying. He also only has 1 shot on goal in 4 of his 6 games so far this season.
How'd he do tonight?
I was just going to say, and I know they lost. They only had 1 goal tonight, and he had 1 shot on goal today.
That's very accurate.
That's what he does. This is what I'm talking about with Ryan Johansen. Yes, so that means 5 out of 7 games he has 1 fucking shot on goal. You know how you're not going to get points? Not taking fucking shots. And Ryan Johansen doesn't. He plays twice next week. Boom. You're out of here. Fuck you, Ryan Johansen.
Yeah. No, my drop is also... I actually have 2 drops, and one's going to be controversial that I'm kind of hiding under the covers right now. But my drop is Nino Niederreiter. Again, 2 games next week. He is streaky. 0 shots in his last 2 games. He did have an apple in his last game, but Nino Niederreiter, he had... What did he have tonight? 5 shots. Fuck. All right, well... You still got to drop him. There's only 2 games. It's only 2 games. 5 shots sticks out, but there's only 2 games, and he's maybe the most notorious streaky player out there. My hold is Nico fucking Hischier, guys. He's my number 1 streamer for the week. So I'm gonna get into a lot of the why later. But tonight he had an assist. He had 1 shot. The assist was on the power play, 2 hits, 1 block. 1910 time on ice. The rest of the stats look great. The drop that I'm nervous to talk about is Evan Bouchard. Yes, I am done. I'm done. And I know, like, he catfished me going into the preseason. Like, in our risks episode, as far as like ADP and stuff like that, he was my number one risk because Tyson Barrie was, the surefire, tried and true power play guy. And then I started like walking that take back because it just made more and more and more sense that Evan Bouchard should get, you have more time to try things out in the beginning of the season. But it hasn't happened. His average time on ice is bullshit. It's 17-13, which would be good for a forward, but he's a defenseman.
Yeah.
Hits and shots are good. And we drafted him for the top power play ceiling. And the fact is, Edmonton's power play is third in the NHL, and that's with Tyson Barrie. And they're converting at close to 40%. Tyson Barrie's got 2 power play assists through 4 games, so there's no reason for Jay Woodcroft to change it. In fact, Bouchard's only seen 4 minutes of power play time on ice this season so far. So that's a minute per game. That's 25 compared to Barrie, 25% compared to Barrie, who's seeing close to 4 minutes per game. So it's really hard to cut bait, when you're looking at the ceiling. So I'm not going to blame you if you hold on, especially if the hits and shots are worthwhile. If you have a deep bench, sure, hold on to him. If you have a deep league, sure, hold on to him. But right now he's not doing enough for me. He's on my team. I plan to drop him to make a pickup either for next week or for Sunday. I'm going to practice what I preach here. Anybody that's listening that's in the listener leagues, yes, Evan Bouchard is about to be on the waiver wire. So get ready for that. I'm done. I'm done waiting. I guess if you're in like a roto league or whatever, maybe there's a shot. If you're in a dynasty, ignore everything I'm saying. We're talking redraft here, guys. So there's not enough for me with Evan Bouchard. I'm really sticking my neck out there, but I guarantee you, in 2 weeks, the rest of the fantasy hockey podcasts out there are going to be saying the same thing. So
Didn't you drop him last year? Like, he's never been good. He's never done anything. He's never done
I held him last year, but he's seeing like his time on ice was way different. No, his peripherals were enough. He was 0.5 point per game last year to the point where like he was decent.
The highlight of his career is he was decent.
He was like we rostered 5 defensemen and had like a 5-person bench. So far, he's got 1 goal in 7 games, and he's got 10 shots in 7 games. That's nothing like what he had last year. Or no, that was his 18th season. So he's got 1 assist, and he's got 11 shots through 4 games. Last year, he had 205 shots and was a 43-point defenseman in 81 games. So he was above 0.5 point per game. He also put on 112 blocks and 80 hits, so he was just around a hit a game. He's hitting really good, and his blocks are okay. He's got 2 through 4 games, so 0.5 block a game. So not even okay. I don't know. I'm over Evan Bouchard.
Yeah, he sucks. So, yeah, I agree with you.
I know we're only 4 games in, all right? But we drafted him to be top power play. He's not. And there's no reason to move away from Tyson Barrie as it stands right now. Like, even if 5 games go by and Tyson Barrie doesn't hit the score sheet, that power play is still going to be clicking and Tyson Barrie's still going to be on it. So Jay Woodcroft is going to be looking at that power play. He's going to be like, well, this unit's working. There's no reason not to do it.
The thing is, it's like if you got McDavid, Draisaitl, probably Kane, maybe Hyman out there, and other options R&H, it almost doesn't even matter who that defenseman is as long as they can just kind of not fuck up too badly on the power play. Like the other top, like they don't even need to have a defenseman on their power play, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I don't really think they're worried about shoehorning somebody in there, which sucks for Bouchard.
He's 85% rostered, so this is going to ruffle some feathers out there, but I'm right there.
Feathers.
And also, I want to talk to you guys about Seth Jarvis, who 3 games ago saw under 14 minutes, and the last 2 games he's seen 14-23, 14-34. But I think that Calgary game is still going on. That Calgary game, he's got 3 points or 3 shots so far, and he's seeing good power play time. And I think what happened last game was that he got moved off the top power play. And just looking at his time on ice right now, 2 minutes 44 seconds power play time on ice. So I think he's just looking at that, he's probably back on the top power play. It's 2-2. It's Jesus. It's 12:30 in the morning right now. So I don't know. Maybe he's on the top power play. You'll have to go check tomorrow. But anyway, all right. Let's get into the waiver wire segment, eh? Raj, kick her off, bud.
Well, I don't like any of the players I have picked for tonight in terms
Sweet.
of personal.
Awesome.
Yeah, in terms of like personally liking these players.
Actually, that is sweet because now it shows that you have no bias.
William Karlsson, 14% rostered, so he is totally available. But he's playing with Marchand on line 2. They haven't broken that pair up yet. They're kind of back to that. They're kind of moving the schedule around a bunch still.
The lineup?
Yeah, I mean, the schedule. Yes, they're juggling the schedule around to fit their needs. No, the lineup is what I mean. But a big difference with Karlsson is he's now got left wing, so he's center left wing, so it makes him a lot better than when he was just a straight C. He's got 4 points in 5 games.
Nothing tonight. 1 shot, 1 block. It's Colorado, though.
Yeah. It's a schedule thing, right? They have a great schedule, and their top 6 is pretty potent, and he's kind of weaving his way in and out of the top 6 as things get shuffled. He's got a power play point. He's got the same amount of power play points as Jack Eichel so far, so he's basically as good as Jack Eichel.
Ooh.
Is what I'm saying.
Hot takes, baby.
Yeah, that's my take. No, but I just think schedule in consideration, streaming wise, dual eligible. I love that in a streamer, so I'd take a chance on him.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. Zach, who's your first streamer option?
My first one is Mason McTavish. I do. I like I said earlier, I do like that that second line in Anaheim, and Mason McTavish has been shelling out, man. And he has a great picture. That's one of my favorite things about Mason McTavish is the way he looks. So just an interesting looking human being. But he's getting, he's taken a decent amount of shots. He's playing 15, 16 minutes a game. Not much for hits and blocks, but he is getting points right now. So I do. I like Mason McTavish next week.
Big schedule plug here.
Oh yeah, so a lot of my stuff is it's always going to be kind of schedule based because I'm looking for I'm trying to maximize shit. I don't want to tell people
Guys
to pick
who
up
will
somebody
play.
that plays on all off night or on all like heavy nights or some shit.
All right, I'm gonna work from the bottom up. I'm gonna go Riley Smith, my number 3 pick here. He's 17% rostered, right wing, line 1, power play 2. So I mean he's still on line 1 with Kessel and Eichel, but he's not on the top power play. But top power play is right now is Chandler Stevenson, who's actually a pretty interesting ad as well. 38% rostered, center right wing. And then you got Eichel, Marchand, Pietrangelo, Stone, who are not pick upable. And he leads Vegas in shots on goal, which is wildly uncharacteristic for Riley Smith. Just in general, to be shooting the puck is weird.
Yeah, right.
So this is a points league option for me. He's got 3 points in 5 games, only 1 goal on those 20 shots. So things might start to trend a little bit more favorably in terms of shooting percentage. But, deployment wise, it's hard to get any better. Obviously, you could go Chandler Stevenson for the power play 1 exposure, line 1 with Eichel, and just the shots on goal. I think Riley Smith is a decent points ad here. Nothing for peripherals. Nothing. What does he got tonight? He's playing Colorado. He's got 3 shots, 4 hits. Okay. So every once in a while, I'll hit you with some riffs, but don't expect them. Raji.
Yeah, another player I don't want to talk about, but again, I just kind of have to, is Neil Pionk. He's only 58% rostered, so he is potentially there. But 3 goals, 3 shots a game, 3 hits a game. I think Morrissey still has power play 1, but
who's 56% or 55% rostered. So they're both like in that same range.
Yeah, and I'd say either of them really, but Pionk he's getting the goals, which is nice. I wouldn't expect a goal a game type of schedule to continue, but he's performing without the power play, which sometimes some coaches that would lead you to get the power play if you're scoring goals and don't have the power
Bonus might be a nerd. He might, like Morrissey shoots left, Pionk shoots right, so he might be a nerd. That might matter to him.
That might matter more than getting actual goals, yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I do like I said, even without power play one, Pionk is very good across basically every category right now. So I like that.
Zach, Nicky Bobby,
Yeah, man.
baby.
What the fuck? What's wrong with Nicky Bobby? Don't boo
Not a
me,
thing.
Raj. Don't boo me. Yeah,
Sucks.
Nicky Bobby.
Sucks.
2 goals, 1 game. So he didn't.
2 goals, 1 game, 0 goals for the rest of his career.
That
Still
is
got-
not gonna.
he's
that
still got
is
a
not
goal a
gonna
game.
happen. So he's still on the second line right now. He's still on the second line. I'll take it.
And he will
Yeah,
be. He
he's
will
getting
be.
second power play time. He very easily could drop down to the into the bottom 6. Don't get me wrong, but right now, if he's going to be taking shots on goal a bunch, yeah, I'm down for it. He had 2 shots on goal again today, 4 in the last game where he did score 2 goals. Which, hey, don't get me wrong, I understand he's not going to score a whole bunch of goals like 2 goals a game like fucking Austin Matthews kind of shit, but yes. At 21%, I'll take a look at him. Why not?
Austin Matthews, circa 21-22. Not so far this year.
Austin Matthews is fantastic. Don't ever talk about Austin Matthews in a negative light again.
Do you think Toronto needs more scoring and more offense? And that's going to, I don't know. Nicky Bobby just doesn't really serve a purpose in Toronto, and that's his biggest problem.
They like goals there. They're big fans.
I like money.
Well, 2 goals in you can kind of say 2 goals in 1 game, or you could say 2 goals in the last 40 games if he's even played that. But
Well, I think this might be his first look inside the top 6, first
Yeah.
real look.
I'm in for it. Why not? Yeah, I'll
I
take
don't
a
know.
flyer on it. Why
He
not?
is waiver exempt, which is nerve wracking. But I think we've seen the last of Dennis Malgin, so he's gone.
Yeah.
But on a moment's notice, Nick Robertson could be in the minors. It's one thing to look out for, but right now I'm with you, Zach. I
The
like
whole
him
thing
as a
is,
streamer.
who else are they going to
The
put up there?
schedule might not be great. I don't know. Kerfoot. I don't know. They need a 3C, so he seems pretty stable there. All right, my number 2 ad here is Frank Vetrano, who at the time of writing this was 6% rostered, left wing, right wing.
Huzzah.
Vetrano is crushing me this week. I'm playing Sed in our listener leagues, and I had a handy lead. I did, and now I'm losing, and it doesn't feel great. Vetrano's, I'd like to say he's a part of it, but he accidentally maybe not accidentally, but he got benched. But he scored a bunch of points on the bench. He's been crushing me this week. Good time on ice, good shot volume, great riffs, 6 hits, 8 blocks through 5 games, 14 shots, 3 goals, 4 PIMs, doing a little bit of everything. So he's going to be relevant in a bunch of different kind of leagues. And with the schedule that he's got, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, definitely worth looking at after you cash in on a back-to-back Monday, Tuesday, or hit a Monday. Well, I forget. I was talking about a guy who played on Monday earlier in the episode. Hopefully you remember, because I don't. But yeah,
I just love the full circle that is Frank Vetrano with you.
hated him.
You know
5
what I mean?
years ago.
And I used
What
to,
was it, 4 or 5 years
there
ago.
was always that time of year where Frank Vetrano would just turn it on.
And you would have him on your team.
Yeah, because I would just go in and swoop in the fucking 11th hour and pick him up when, right when he's about to score fucking 7 goals in 4 games kind of shit and get 1 million hits.
I feel like that's Vetrano's specialty, is scoring against me. So next week he's not going to be playing me. So this could blow up in my face. But anyway, I'm going to throw him out there for the schedule. All right, Raj, you're back up, bud.
He was actually my first pick for streamers for next week. And I
nice amount
started
of you.
typing out a bunch of notes, and then I looked down further, and I was like,
That pitch.
So yeah, I definitely like that pick for sure. I guess this is number 3. Another one where I don't want to say it, but I'm just looking at the schedule. Is Casey Middlestat. Casey Middlestat, and along with anyone else who's streaking on Buffalo. And
Dylan Cousins, JJ Paterka, like Alex Tuck.
Doing the damn thing.
Dude.
You got to set a threshold. I think Casey Middlestat is the threshold, but he's doing really well. He's getting a ton of time. He's taking a lot of face-offs. He's out there for a lot of important minutes. Like they have the top two centers there are both pretty much evenly split in terms of face-offs and time on ice and all that. They've only got 3 games played next week, and they're all on heavy nights, so that doesn't sound good. But their opponents are Seattle, Montreal, and Chicago, which is basically just trash. So there's that, and then the following week they have the best schedule where they have off nights on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So someone like a Middlestat who's streaking now, a couple other guys. I mean, in some leagues you can get Olofsson, in some leagues you can get almost whoever you want, other than Dahlin, for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking at a 2-week ad, Buffalo looks really good right now. Like I said, for schedule wise over those 2 weeks, and they're doing the thing that they've done last season every year. You know, they have a month or two of being just incredible, and then they end up in almost last place. So,
and dude, this comes back to what I led the episode off with, is like Buffalo's doing good, Philly's doing good, you know, Toronto's not doing well. Like, good teams are doing bad, bad teams are doing well. Things are not right. Okay, so don't panic. Don't drop fucking Kyle Connor. All right.
Fucking backwards.
Who do you got now, Rod?
I'm going
Pizarro.
Fucking Pizarro. Right. I have Blake Wheeler, a little more highly owned than the last 2 guys I talked about, and mine were in no particular order. I just fucking put down 3 dudes. But I'm going Blake Wheeler here on this one, 53%. He's been playing, he's been playing just fine. I think he's been playing at more of a 53% clip, that's for sure. But he had another assist today, another 3 shots on goal. He's been shooting pretty decent, and he's on that second. He's on that second line, top power play in Winnipeg. I like Blake Wheeler.
Yep, as long as Ehlers is out, Wheeler is on that top unit. So worth a check. I had Perfetti down here as just like kind of an honorable mention. In terms of like Winnipeg forwards that are within a reasonable ownership, Perfetti might have the highest boom potential, and finally hit the score sheet the other night. So, all right, I've been leading up to Nico Hischier here, who, at the time of writing this was 35%. I'm going to check him right now. He's 35.
Oh, and by the way, Frank Vetrano is a whopping 7% now.
Did he go up? Look at him.
A whole percentage point, but yes.
All right, Hischier got another point tonight. He is first line with Palat and Bratt. First power play with Dawson Mercer, who's also available at 19%, center right wing. Bratt, Jack Hughes, Dougie. He's got 6 points in 4 games since returning, 13 shots before tonight. His average time on ice is above 19 minutes. He's playing like a man possessed. I don't know what's gotten into him. He looks great. Like if you think about his point pace last year, and he has not missed a beat. So this is a guy, this year he's on 123 point pace, and that is not going to continue. But he's a 70 point pace guy last year, and Jersey, they're doing shit. So let him go. Nico Hischier, go check. Eric Halla is also somebody I wanted to bring up, just because he's shooting like crazy, like over 4 shots a game, crazy. Just throwing his name out there. I'm not going to say I would add him over Hischier, not even close. But yeah, he's shooting.
I like a lot of the people on Jersey, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Sharon Govich. I had him in the honorable mentions, second line with Hughes and Mercer. Like, pretty much that whole second line. If you can pick anybody up off that second line, go for it. Palat, I don't know. Like, I'm still yet to buy into Palat in New Jersey. He was like a 60-point guy in Tampa. I can't imagine what Jersey is going to do for his ceiling. So I don't know where I'm at with him. But it's a good week to give him a shot. Like, if he's the only guy left, go for it. Let's talk about banger suggestions. I had Brendan Dillon. Winnipeg's got 4 games, 3 off nights. Brendan Dillon's 8%. And he's well-rounded. Like, I didn't want to pick a guy who only hits or pick a guy who only blocks. Brendan Dillon's going to give you a little bit of everything. Through 4 games, not including tonight against Toronto, he's got 9 hits, 12 blocks. So he was the guy I was looking at. Let's check what he did tonight. Brendan Dillon, 1 hit, 1 block, 2 PIMs, 3 shots. So, yeah, not a ton. But he'll get you a little bit of everything and 3 off nights. So
I'm taking a perennial favorite of ours. I'm going Yanni Hakanpää. He's up to 9% now. But I do like Dallas' schedule next week. They start out with a back-to-back on Monday, Tuesday, and then they play on some off nights. So they're playing Thursday they actually play on heavy nights. But still, I'm an idiot. They do play on heavy nights for that back part of the week. But I like to start off with the back-to-back, and still Yanni Hakanpää is, I'm pretty sure he's got like 20-something hits or something so far this year. He's definitely in the top 10 in hits, and as far as people that are available. I think he has like 20 hits. I think that's my guess. That's my guess as of right now. Well, they played today, and I don't know what he got today.
anyway, Raj, who do you like? Who's your banger? I'm
going to say a lot of people on Vegas, like Keegan Colasar, if you need hits. He's going at three or more a game. They have 4 games next week, 3 off nights. So if you're looking to stack bangs that way, it's not really getting in the way of your heavy nights in terms of trying to set up your points. You know, he's got center, right wing. But then you got Braden McNabb on Vegas as well, who's got 9 hits and 12 blocks. So a couple of each a game or more. He's a little bit more reliable. He's around 20 minutes a night. So he's always been known for getting a lot of hits, a lot of blocks. So if you're looking at sort of guaranteed high-end peripherals, I think Braden McNabb is probably actually the way to go.
And by the way, I looked it up. I don't know how you couldn't have seen him. He had before today's, he had 19 hits so far this year, and that was only in 4 games played. And the leader was Evander Kane, Tanner Jeannot, who I do like Tanner Jeannot, and Jamie Alexiak, who we've talked about before. They were the hits leaders. He was only 3 hits behind them, and he did it only in 4 games. So yes, Yanni Hakanpää.
Yeah, I missed him. All right, so some honorable mentions. Ivan Barbashev is 28% rostered. St. Louis has a couple of early off nights against Winnipeg and Edmonton. Dylan Strome, line 2, power play 1, 4 points through his last 5. They got a Monday off night. Ollie Wahlstrom, 3 games, 2 off nights. He saw 13 minutes in his last game. Had 4 hits, only 1 shot in that game, which is really uncharacteristic of him. We talked about Perfetti. We talked about Nick Robertson. We talked about Sean Monahan, Ryan Strome, all guys we talked about, Igor Sharangovich, all worth talking about. Plenty of back-to-backs, and Monday, Tuesday has a bunch, Tuesday, Wednesday, but there's only 2 teams that have 2 back-to-backs this week. It's Pittsburgh and it's the New York Rangers. I don't need to ask Zach if he likes Casey DeSmith.
Ugh.
So,
Jesus. And I know Pittsburgh's doing so well, but still,
they are.
I think they're going to get whooped up on even if he is playing, Edmonton, who's having problems scoring goals right now. They won't that game because Casey DeSmith will be in goal.
Yeah, they got a couple of Alberta games, and then they got the Vancouver and Seattle. So, like, the second half of the back-to-backs, in the week is a little bit more friendly. But the New York Rangers, they have Colorado, New York Islanders, and then they have Dallas and Arizona. So the Sunday for Halak looks really good against Arizona. And I would say, the Friday, Saturday for DeSmith looks pretty good against Vancouver, who I would imagine that's probably Jari. And then Seattle, where DeSmith. Actually, Seattle's putting up goals. I don't know if they're as... I don't know. I don't know if we can stack against them this year as much as, traditionally we could last year. But, it's still a pretty easy game.
Now, I do like that Skinner look.
Skinner's got Chicago.
He's likely going to be playing Chicago. I dig that. I know we don't really truly... I don't know if I truly believe in Skinner, but I do against Chicago.
Yeah, he'll play Chicago on Thursday, so that's a really good look. You know, there's a couple points that I wanted to bring up here. So for me, for like if you're making a week-long play, DeSmith and Halak are going to get you 2 games. And I like Halak a little bit better just because New York Rangers are I can't even say better because like Pittsburgh is playing really well too, but I just trust Halak more than I trust DeSmith at this point. But I wanted to talk about a Thursday, Friday back-to-back for Boston. They're going to see Detroit and they're going to see Columbus. Swayman is 82% rostered. Ullmark is 67% rostered. Ullmark's got 4 games to Swayman's 2, and he's less rostered than Swayman. Not only that is he getting the volume, but his stats are way better. 938 to Swayman's 816, 2.06 goals allowed to Swayman's 5.4. Things are probably going to change for Swayman over the course of the entire season, but right now, Ullmark is the hot hand there.
Playing better.
He's playing better. So Ullmark's, his rostered percentage should be a lot higher at this point, especially higher than Swayman. So if you're holding on to Swayman, I don't know what to tell you, but maybe just pick up Ullmark as in the handcuff. Like 1 out of every 3 leagues, he's out there. Colorado's got a pair of back-to-backs, the New Jersey Devils and the New York Islanders. The Devils are playing really fucking good. They lead the league in expected goals for. They have had a ton of shots. I forget what the stat is, but like Amelie Benjamin tweeted it out today. They've got like 40 shots a game, which is crazy. But not only that, like, are they going to play Colorado?
And they're holding people to low shots too. So they're taking 44 shots a game, and they're only letting up like in the high 20s.
Yeah. So what I see there is Colorado versus, if you're looking at it on paper, like Colorado's going to win this game against the Devils, and the Devils are going to put up a bunch of shots. So if you go for Francouz, who's 54% rostered, maybe he sees the Devils. He'll probably see the Islanders, but it is what it is. Neither of those goalies are really playing well, but nobody's like seeing a harder workload. Georgie's got the edge in games played, but at this point, like there is no hot hand in Colorado. Georgiev's has an 893. Francouz has a 877, and I did not include tonight's game against Vegas in these stats. So like right now, it's just, I don't know, like Georgiev saw Chicago put up a sub 900, saw Minnesota put up a 923, and then Winnipeg, he had an 857. And Francouz, Calgary gave him an 815 and Seattle gave him a 921. So that's like a little more, that makes sense. But like an 882 against Chicago, what the fuck, man? What are you doing, Georgiev?
There was a lot of people that weren't in on that from the beginning.
It's hard to trust Georgiev, but I think, starting goalie on the best team in the league, it's easy to buy in. So the goalie streamer, I like Halak. Zach, you did too.
Mm-hmm. It's because he's definitely going to be playing. Like the New York Rangers have 2 back-to-backs next week, so he's likely to get what I'm guessing is the Islanders and the Coyotes. The 2 back halves of both of those back-to-backs. So yeah, I think Yaroslav Halak is a great choice. He's only 3% owned. Only 3% owned. And on top of the fact, the Rangers are really good. The fact that he's going to play twice, and I'm thinking they're going to win against these shitty teams where they can just run up the score. Yeah, Halak, my number 1 goalie streamer, for sure.
Raj, where do you land?
I actually like Aiden Hill.
Oh?
Yeah. He's probably going to get San Jose, and I wouldn't be surprised if he also gets Winnipeg. So I think
Vegas is one of those weird teams that has just been like, they don't care about back-to-backs. Hill's getting just random games.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3-2 so far for Thompson over Hill, so they're slightly favoring Thompson, but not hugely. So, I mean, they'll definitely split the back-to-back, and then I think he'll get 2 games this week, and their stats are basically identical in terms of goals against and save percentage. Like it's 938 for Thompson, 934 for Aiden Hill. So there's no reason to really worry about either of them. Like Aiden Hill hasn't lost this year. So
how many games do you think he gets this year? Because that's what it always kind of
Hill?
turned. Yeah, Aiden Hill. his career stats aren't bad, but the whole thing is he just hasn't, put a bunch of data together, as TJ would say. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a ton of data. What he does have, don't get me wrong, it looks okay. But man, he's been just blah, kind of. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe in Adin Hill. It's just hard for me.
I can't touch this one with Vegas. They have 3 goalies, so I can't really tell you.
Vegas always has 3 goalies.
Well, yeah, but I mean, are we talking about guys you gonna get married to, or guys that you want to pick up here? Because Adin Hill's 934 undefeated with a 2.0
I wouldn't give
G.
Adin Hill my phone number, I don't think.
Well, and there you go.
I'm making Yaroslav Halak breakfast the next morning. I hope he likes chocolate chip pancakes.
If Hill gets confirmed for that Friday Anaheim start, yeah, I think this is a win for you. San Jose and Anaheim, that might be a really good look. So pay attention. He'll probably, usually they run a starter in the first half of back-to-back, and this is just across the league. This is not,
that's generally
whatever.
Generally,
but
case.
Vegas has Toronto and then San Jose, so they're gonna play Thompson against Toronto. And Hill will probably get that San Jose start. So I like that, especially in the early week if you want to get ahead on starts. San Jose just looks bad right now. So
Vegas looks good.
Yes, he does.
Ugh.
All right,
I hate
streamer of the
watching
week.
them. They're just so blah to watch. I fucking can't
Don't
stand
watch
them.
it. Just win.
Let's talk streamer of the week. You guys are going to pick one guy that we talked about this whole episode, and that's going to be the guy that you stream for this week.
I'm picking... me and TJ kind of went a little similar here, but I'm picking New Jersey Devil, Dawson Mercer. He's going to have a great week next week. I'm telling you, he actually had a goal today, so that's cool. That was nice. But he starts the week off back-to-back, Monday, Tuesday, and then has off nights at the end of the week. So they play Monday, Tuesday, have 2 days off in the middle, and then they play Friday against Colorado at home, and Columbus at home on Sunday. So I like Dawson Mercer, and I think he is going to have a good week next week.
Boo.
I'll take it right over. And
You don't like Dawson Mercer? Really? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why not? He's cool. Snazzy.
I'm going to go with Nico Hischier from the
Yay.
same team. I outlined it when we were talking streamers, outlined it for long-term hold. Nico Hischier is playing out of his mind right now, and I don't see it stopping next week. They got Detroit, they got Columbus, they got a couple hard games in Washington, divisional rival, and
But they're
the
playing
Colorado
all of them
Avalanche.
at home. All of these hard games at home. Capitals, Avalanche, Columbus. At least they're playing at home.
Yeah, I think Detroit's on the road, but they got 2 days off in between before they see Colorado. So I don't know. For me, Nico Hischier's easy stream of the week. Easy.
I agree with that one, no, hands down. But I think I do like Neil Pionk. You can fuck right off. I like his schedule. I like the fact that he's going to take over Power Play 1 this week, and I like the fact that I hate him and he's doing well regardless of my feelings. So I'm actually picking him. In defense, it seems like this year there is a shortage of good defensemen so far.
Raj, I love your take on this episode. I feel like it's like that episode of Seinfeld where George just does the opposite of what he would do all the time.
Every decision I've ever made in my entire life has been wrong. My life is the complete opposite of everything I want it to be. Every instinct I have in every aspect of life.
If every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite would have to be right.
Yes. I will do the opposite.
And everything just keeps on working out for him and everything like that. That's what you're doing this week. You're like, I'm whatever I would usually do, doing the fucking opposite.
All right, that is the week 3 preview, guys. We'll catch you on Tuesday. Like I said, hit us up on Twitter, hit us up in the Discord if there's anybody that's really hot right now or really cold right now that you want us to dig into and deep dive on the show. And we're going to pick 10 guys, and we're going to go over 10 guys on Tuesday Trends. So I don't know. We'll talk to you then. Love you. Bye.
Love yous.
Adios, turd nuggets.